I remember growing up, I was never a social media person, and social media was new at the time when I was younger. And as it started rolling out, I was always like I wouldn't necessarily say weird, but I wasn't really focused on social media or all the popular things or like a cool kid type of personality or way about me, right? I was just me doing what I was doing. I played video games, I talked to my friends, and I played outside, you know what I'm saying? Like just like regular things, you know? And then I remember social media started coming out. And I always was like, my friends and my cousins would tell me, oh, get it, get it, get it, do this, do this, do this, do this. And I would always put it off until one day I did it and I got it. And I remember at first posting random things like I just wanted to post, or like I remember posting a picture of a little Batman clock I had. I remember posting like random ass things that people probably would be like, yo, I'm not gonna post this because it might be weird, or people might think me weird, or I don't want to share this part of me, right? And then that's also something interesting about social media too, right? But I remember posting all those things, and then I remember once I really entered into high school is when I started to care a little bit more about what I posted, or even in middle school a little bit too, because I was never cool. I remember wanting to go. I remember I grabbed my brother once. I was like, "Hey, take a picture of me, man." Oh no, this was high school, bruh. This was high school. I think it was freshman year, pretty much, is when all that little pressure started coming about, man. And I remember posting pictures and not getting many likes, right? And I was like, "Damn, that sucks." And I remember looking at other people's profiles, and they had the likes, they had the followers, and then I just started feeling weird about myself. Like I wasn't cool. And it was something I was never really worried about or something I never focused on. But once I got exposed to all the profiles and how people had more likes and more followers than me, it almost made me feel like weird that I didn't have that. Or almost made me feel like I needed that to be cool, you know what I'm saying? And it's a very sad thing to think about, actually. And then I remember posting things, and if we wouldn't get the same amount or get less likes than usual, I would feel some type of way about it. And I feel weird, and I'd even contemplate deleting it, and I probably did a couple of times. And then the opposite, whenever I would post something and it got more than usual, got some comments even, I actually felt good. I actually felt like, dang, I'm actually cool or something, you know what I mean? And to tie your self-worth to some likes on Instagram is crazy. And you really gotta think about that, man. And it's really what it was. Because when I didn't get them, I felt like a little bit like shit. And when I got them, I felt like the man. Which is so weird, because I think back on a time where social media wasn't even around, and I didn't even think about, question, or worry about any of that kind of stuff. And it only got worse as the years went on, and as you got a little bit older, especially in that high school environment, man. Because it almost feels like when you're at school like that, everything is surrounded around that, man. The dating life, your friend groups, how other people will see you. And it's really an interesting thing to see, right? And I remember thinking to myself, man, what can I do to get more? Or like, why aren't people messing with me, man? Or like, it even got to the point where I'd wanted to do like some crazy things for followers, right? I remember looking at how to get more followers on Instagram, on YouTube, how to be a cool kid, how do we do this, how to do this. And I was always worried about how I can be perceived as better, cooler, instead of just being myself and just accepting the fact that I'm gonna be who I am and that's all I need to be, right? I would spend hours constantly trying to improve myself on the internet, so then hopefully those people from the internet can see me in real life and be like, you know what, he's actually good. He's actually cool. And it's crazy because then you really sit there and pick the best picture of yourself. You really sit there and pick the things that may be worth sharing and some things you feel like aren't worth sharing just because maybe they're not really that good of a picture, or they won't seem as interesting to other people as they are to you. So you really nitpick and really choose the things you post just so you could have those likes and that those people can have that idea of you, and that almost a jealousy in the way of like you want them to be like, man, I wish I could be like that, or man, I wish I could be doing that. Which is such a crazy thing to think about, right? When it all comes down to you just want to be looked at a certain way, looked at as you have value, or you're worth something. And right now I'm really just letting my thoughts go with this, because I was drawing around and I really thought about how I was before social media. And I always put it off. I always meant like, nah, that's a waste of thing. That's a waste of time. I don't really care about that kind of stuff. I'm just enjoying my time here, you know what I'm saying? And it really hit me because then when I think about it and I did start getting on social media, how I said, man, I felt worse about myself. I started looking at myself in the mirror and be like, you know what, you're actually not as cool as I thought you were. Or man, you're actually kind of ugly. And I was telling myself these things and I was like, damn, how can I be like everybody else? How could I do this and do this so people can look at me that certain way? And then it just all these destructive self-thoughts, and all those lead to is you feeling worse and worse about yourself. And then that just grows your anxiety. That grows that pressure you give yourself. And then you just feel like you're not worth anything, man. Until you really realize, and so a lot of people don't, that social media ain't nothing, man. It's not real life. Real life is this, man. Real life is what you live in here in the flesh. And it's really sad to think about that. Really, there's people out here that live their life for social media. They do everything for that click, that double tap, that extra follow. And in a way, you can't blame them, in the sense like that's what the world's revolving around right now, currently, in a way. It's everywhere. People constantly on their phones and searching for that next dopamine rush. Or even worse, a lot of people searching for that viral moment where they can have their chance at the spotlight. The chance at the spotlight, man. Like they're not already in their own spotlight. Like they're not already worth something. Like they're not already someone cool that someone else can look at and be like, you know what, that guy's cool. They feel like they need those followers to then feel cool or worth something, or like they did something. And the thing is, you may not even really be searching for the right things, just searching for that spotlight, man. Because some people end up doing the dumbest things, or some people end up doing the wrong things just for that spotlight. That's how bad it is. All for those likes, all for the feeling of other people feeling some type of jealousy, or what's that one word? Or that type of like, wow, what's that word, man? I don't know that word, but they just feel like you want them to feel, look at you and be like, oh yeah, I want that. Oh, you know what, he's cool. Jealousy, that, what's that word? Dang. I can't think of the word, but you guys might be able to understand what I'm saying. But it just hit me because, man, thinking back, when none of that mattered. Never worried about that. Never did. Until I did. And then it took over so much and it changed so much of my life. in some ways it's cool. In a lot of other ways, it's very destructive. And then you get a mix of people, because some people really live for that, and then some people are like, nah, man, I don't really care. I don't really care about that, man. I just be posting because I like to post. But then even those people, like, do they really, or they just say that just to say that, because they want to seem like, oh man, this guy doesn't care. And then you get stuck in the loop of really thinking too deeply about what other people think about what they do, when it don't matter, because the only thing that matters is what you be thinking and what you be doing. And then I guess that comes down to you not being out here yapping about like, oh man, I don't care, I just post what I want. Man, if that's the case, just do that and don't say anything about it, and don't worry about anything, because the more and more you explain, the less and less people will believe it. And it's not that they need to believe it, it's just that if you think about it, are you saying it for them, or are you saying it to try to convince yourself that you don't care? And that's something I found myself doing. That's why I'm sharing that now. But I've been off of social media for a while. The only thing I really use is YouTube, and I find myself getting stuck on the shorts there, or Facebook, because I have it for Marketplace, and I see the shorts on there too. But I don't look at posts, because my Facebook account is from when I was like in middle school. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, I just literally look at some shorts, or there's some Facebook groups I'm in though, like some car stuff, or like some other little things like that I do look at from time to time, but not on social media like Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, like none of those. And honestly, I don't really think about them. And a big part of that is that all the people I once like not even kept in contact with, but I guess just the way it was just checked in on them to see how their life is going. Like, I don't talk to them, and it's not like I really don't care about them, in the sense like I wish them the best. It was good knowing them, you know what I'm saying? We all experienced life at that moment together, right? Going to school and all these different things. But like, if I run into them like, oh, how's it going, man? You good? Hi, man, wish you the best, good luck. There's like no type of weird feeling, but like, I don't need to be constantly looking at the things you're doing and all that. And I've also just put myself in that position just because I felt like it was just taking my time. And that time I could really be using for the things I really liked. And that's how I think about it, man. And that's just a little rant I had about social media, just because I got that while I was driving. But let me know what you guys think down below. Take care.